Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is Matthew Listalia. I'm here with a Too Easy Tuesday version or edition of Burn Your Boats. Today, we're kind of retreading some old water. We're going to talk about gratitude. So, we talked about gratitude before, we talked about gratitude journals, we talked about the idea from the book Atomic Habits, where you habit stack, where you take something that you already enjoy doing and you incorporate ways to be grateful. Really, you can incorporate any good behavior or habit that you're trying to establish in on something that you're already doing. But when we were talking about gratitude, it was about bringing in like a gratitude journal while your coffee's brewing. So if you like to have coffee every morning, or if you like to have tea, or whatever the case may be, that's a great chance, because what are you doing? You're sitting there waiting for the water to seep through, and you got a lot else going on, and it doesn't take that long to write down a couple things that you're grateful for, and the impact on that on your body, both chemically, internally, and the way that you're processing information and the way that you're going to handle your relationships throughout the day is significantly impacted. But we talked about all that before, so that's cool. So if this is your first time to the show, welcome. That's there. If you want the full edition of that, go back to the other episode. And typically, this is not the attire for the show. But this is a special edition because I have special guests that are coming on today. So, and I wanted to rock out and show you guys some new tattage that I got on both sides. I like symmetry. So today, getting back to gratitude. So what are we talking about? Today it's about how to go about gratitude in the dynamic between you and another person. When you want to show somebody that you're grateful for what they're doing. It's one thing, so say you came home and or let's do this one better, because this one has happened to me and I was super grateful for it, and I don't even know if I followed my own tool correctly this way, and we might be able to find out in a little bit. But so I woke up one morning and I came downstairs, and there was several mornings where this happened. I came downstairs and I smelled coffee brewing. Right, there's a theme here. There's a sub theme of coffee in this episode. So I came downstairs and I smelled coffee brewing, and I was like, "What? That doesn't happen without me making it." And then I look and I see that my oldest daughter, Kaylin, is sitting on the couch, chilling. I'm like, none of this maths yet. So I continue to go. I walk into the kitchen and I see that there's coffee, not only brewed in a cup with the correct. Let's be clear. And yes, I don't drink black coffee. Hate on me if you will. That's fine. So with the correct amount of creamer, not just creamer. She didn't just wing it. I don't know how she knew, because I don't even know if she taste tested. She might have. I don't know. So, but I'm pretty sure that I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you. You're so sweet. I love it." Which is cool. Like, we want that. That is absolutely something that we want. However, that doesn't necessarily tread or break the ground. So if we take this into consideration, we have talked about the neural pathways and the connections between neurons in our brain, and basically we are machines that look to create shortcuts, right? So we want the shortest, fastest, easiest way to get somewhere. And so once we start a habit, or even an emotional habit, and this comes up with a lot of negativity. So if you are negatively perceiving something, and then you allow that event that may be very negative, but if you allow that event and that negative response to that to then become a habit where you're responding negatively to more future events, then each time that you're responding negatively, you're like, I view it as like a path through the woods, right? So like the first time that you take that path and you're walking through, and you can go left or right at the tree, and the left is the negative and the right is the positive. You go left to the negative, and the first time that you walk through it isn't necessarily that significant. You're walking through and you're pressing down the leaves and you're breaking the twigs, but not like a couple minutes after you walk through, the blades of grass will stand back up and it's all good. But if another event happens in your life and you take that same path left, then you're going to walk on that again. And think about how many interactions that you have in a day, how many responses you have to things. You can have up to like 15 in less than a minute, just with things that are happening at work. Just like, okay, I got an email, and then my boss came in, and then it's raining outside, and you're having all of these responses. So think, if you're taking this path 15 times every minute all day, how worn in that left path is going to be, and how much easier. So when you walk up to that tree and you see, okay, this event occurred, I can still go right and I can still go left, but that left path has got concrete. It's got like a high. It's got rails from a roller coaster on it where I can go cruising down super fast. The right side is like wild thornberries. Like, you have vines, you have all of the grass and all of the bushes and wild animals, and you're like, why would I ever go that way when I have this beautiful path taken? The cool thing is, the same way that we built that path to the left with negativity, you can build that path to the right. And if you've built the path to the left, if you have those negative responses built in, and it is part of what you just feel like who you are, it is because you've built it. You are not instinctively that way. You're choosing to allow it. And my goal here, my intent, is to bring you the tools that allow you to change. The first step in any of this is to identify. You have to identify the fact that this is occurring, and identify the fact that your life could be more than what it is if you identify these facts. But identifying is only the first step, right? You have to take steps and action, and you have to start leaving that path alone. Because what happens, you see it in all the dystopian movies of the future. What is it? I Am Legend with Will Smith. I think about that specifically when you're like, he's driving down the highway, all the cars are wrecked, and there's like overgrowth over all the streets. Those streets can be your left path, your negative path, where, yeah, there was concrete there. Maybe that was there. But I've stopped treading. I've stopped taking care of it because I stopped taking it. Once I stop taking it, the brush can start overgrowing, and we can forget about that side. And we look at the right side, and we can take that first step. And that's what it takes. It takes the first time down that path, and you gotta bend those grass blades. You gotta push the branches out of the way, and you keep taking it, and you keep taking it. And it's not easy. I know it's a Too Easy Tuesday episode, but that's why we're here. That's why I'm here to help you get to the point where we can make it more easy. That first step, that deciding that first event, I'm going to respond positively. That's where it's too easy. And again, this is the baseline. This is the base, understanding gratitude and how it works with us mentally in those neural pathways. So specifically, good word choice, totally accidental. Specifically, what I want to talk about is like I was saying, the interactions between you and other people, and when we're talking about gratitude. So when I'm thinking, when something happens, so when, like I told the story about Kaylin, and she made the coffee and it was amazing, and I was like, thank you. I did not specifically break it down. And now that's a kind of a general thing where there's not a whole lot of room to be like super specific about it, because it's not a complex task. But I could be like, wow, you did the perfect amount of cream, and the fact that you used these mugs is great, because this really helps keeps it warm, and you let it sit in the pot, which let it keep warm, and then when you heard me getting up, then you poured it and you put the creamer in. Or you heard me coming down and you put it in the microwave and you heat it up. I don't know what she did, because it was still hot, so it was amazing. But whatever it was, like, that's what you give thanks for, because that's the way that I help her to cut down the vines and to lay the path for her positive reactions. And like, it's mutually beneficial. Kaylin's happy because she did something nice for her father, which I remember doing that for my dad and my mom, and I loved it. The feeling that I got when I was able to do something simple for them, like bring my dad a beer. I don't think I ever made my parents coffee, so Kaylin's already done me on that, so well done. But being specific allows her to know clearly what it is that she did right, and what can we do with information. Information is power, and information is power as long as we take the information and we use it and we turn it actionable. So if I told Kaylin, I was like, you used the perfect amount of cream, and then next time she like dumps half the cream into the cup, like, well, you didn't really use the information very well, but I appreciate the effort, and then it'll be less gratitude, and then theoretically she would respond to the gratitude being different and change the behavior. And so then everything becomes mutually beneficial. So it's helpful for me, it's helpful for her, and when you think about it in the family system, it's beneficial for the family as a whole. When you think about it in the workplace, it's beneficial for the workplace as a whole. I was going to say this goes specifically well for supervisors towards subordinates, but it's also for subordinates to supervisors. You can give gratitude to a supervisor. I know, it might be weird, it might sound weird, but you can do that. And so it's all about being specific, and it's about identifying those moments when you can let somebody know specifically that you are grateful for them. And so I want to bring my special guests on now. All three of them who have been sitting, waiting so patiently, all ready to go, and come on in. There's the girl of the hour. And my Bubby. And Mackenzie. This is the first time they've ever been on the show, and I wanted to make it super special. And so I figured that bringing them on in an episode that was about gratitude and about being specifically grateful seemed like the right way to do it. And I just want to say that I'm like specifically grateful for your guys' mad tats that you gave. I don't forget. See, that one I think was done by Kaylin. Yeah, I think she said it on there. Boom, yeah. Represent. That one was done by Mackenzie, and I got some on my back that were done by Tyler. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. What we do is we actually do it while we read a book. So I'm on the bed and I'm reading to them, and while I'm reading to them, they're tattooing me. And so that way they're engaged and they're listening, and we're doing reading. And so I think that, does everyone enjoy that?
Yeah.
You don't have to lie, it's cool.
No, I actually like it.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys. I love you so much.
Love you too, Dad.
I love you guys too. Thank you for always coming back and supporting the show. So much love and appreciation, and we will see you here again tomorrow for, do you know what it is?
That's what you get Wednesday.
Ah, she knows! All right, see you guys then.